Drifter here. Today we're going to be unboxing, testing, and reviewing the brand new A50X from Logitech G, which sort of continues on in the line of Astro Gaming and is effectively the next generation Astro A50, which you might remember as their premium headset from last generation. This one's kind of insane because if you take a look at the back, it's got two different HDMI port in and outs, so that what you can do is pass through and capture HDMI audio so that, as you see on the front of the box, it's compatible with Xbox and PlayStation and PC all at the same time because it all kind of goes through one base station here. So we have a lot to talk about on this very impressive headset. I kind of feel like this is Logitech G's foray into console gaming because they've been very PC focused for a long time. But first we're going to do a turbo unboxing, then we're going to be talking about the stats, then we're going to do some testing, and then we're going to have some criticism at the end. So this headset has a roughly 25-hour battery life. It docks on a rechargeable base station, has the new Logitech G graphene drivers, and their light sync technology. And man, that looks just like the classic Astro A50 headset. I streamed with A50s for years. And if you're interested in this product because you have a PlayStation and an Xbox, there's a link down there, logi.gg/drifter A50X, that will take you directly to the website, and code Drifter will give you 10% off of the product. Come on out of here. Wow, it's actually really heavy. This is not a light base station, but I suppose that's because of all the technology that's in it. We are back from the unboxing, and now I want to talk about the specs and stats on this headset, and I actually have a little cheat sheet here printed out to help keep me on track because there is a lot going on here today. So first of all, again, all the consoles all at the same time. You have a one-button easy press to swap between them. It supports 3D audio on PlayStation 5. If you're playing on PC, we have Dolby Atmos and Windows Sonic Spatial audio compatibilities. Nothing for Xbox. It supports HDMI 2.1 pass-through up to 4K 120 Hz, which is the max any console can do and better than most PCs, so you won't have any issues with that. One thing I wanted to show you though is just how easy it is to swap between console and PC, but my only problem is I don't own both a PlayStation and an Xbox, so I'm going to call in an audible from an old friend of mine, Prestigious Key, that's going to show you just how quick it is to swap.
So within a matter of seconds, you could go from playing Call of Duty on your PlayStation 5 to swapping over to Starfield on your Xbox. Tap again and everything moves over to your PC.
So let's take a moment to talk about the headset itself. It weighs 363 grams, which is about 20 grams lighter than the old A50. Holding it in my hand, I couldn't feel the difference in 20 grams. It felt kind of about the same to me. These are 40mm Pro G graphene speakers. They're the same as the Logitech G Pro X2. So if you're familiar with this headset or you've used this one from Logitech, the A50 is actually pretty much identical in terms of sound quality. As you've seen, the ear tags are customizable. They've got mesh on there now. You can put leather. I'm going to turn it around a little bit. You can actually also change out the top headband. A little hard to do. Microphone is very simple. When it's up, it's muted. When it's down, it's unmuted. That's kind of all you have to do. The microphone quality is fantastic. We'll talk about that in a moment. We've got a very basic volume control. We've got a play switch button, on-off, Bluetooth pairing. The communication method is the same as most Logitech G devices. It uses their proprietary light speed technology, which is insanely fast. I use it on my mouse at 120 FPS, so we get plenty of data, plenty fast here to the headset. And one thing that I am really surprised, and maybe even the most happy about, is the microphone quality on the new A50X is really good. I'm not just BSing. The microphone quality is way better than the A30s. These are my Mandalorian A30s. They had a terrible built-in mic, one of the big flaws with that product. And even the Pro X2, which I've upgraded to have the blue condenser mic on there. I don't know if it's focusing or if we can see it or anything. The blue condenser mic, and customized it. This still sounds better out of the box. So let me go to a quick mic test where I compare this to a proper commentary mic. I almost forgot to do the microphone test. What you're hearing right now is the Yeti GX, the commentary microphone that I have, but we're going to do a quick swap on OBS, and we're going to swap over to the A50 mic. And boom, I don't know if I have the audio adjusted or balanced quite as right, but this is what the A50 audio sounds like. And in my opinion, I think this sounds significantly better than most other headsets. I think it sounds better than the old A50. It sounds way better than the A30s and better than the Pro X2. And I was just kind of generally impressed with the microphone. That's about all the good stuff I can talk about without showing you the software. We're going to spend a minute here today in this review, probably a couple of minutes, showing off the software because it's extremely impressive and extremely important. And Mixline you can actually download for free right now with the links down there in the description. And then we're going to be back to talk about some of the flaws and a little bit about the base station. I've mostly been using the new A50X from the bed PC, so I thought that'd be the best place to show off all of its software features. And, you're not supposed to see that. Let's go to G-Hub and cover up the anime girls on my desktop. So you can see all of the Logitech G devices I have hooked up to this PC, the camera that's recording right now, the microphone that's going, and of course the A50X. My Pro X2 is downstairs. So let's see what kind of settings we have. So we have side tone, balance between your console and PC, regular device volume, power off mode, base station brightness to control the LEDs on there, and some additional sounds, all none, minimal. That's pretty basic, but let's get to the fun stuff. You do have an equalizer in here, and I have it on default, but you can play in gaming or on media, or you can create your own or browse the community, download, get some from online. There's a very similar kind of thing going on in the microphone equalizer. You've got competition settings, broadcast settings, default, which is kind of flat, noise gate settings, very basic ones here that you can turn on or off. And of course, you can download custom presets. Unfortunately, there's one thing this doesn't have, which is the Blue voice on the Yeti GX and some of the other Blue products. So the equalizer that you have for the microphone isn't that advanced, but as you'll see in a second, the microphone is pretty good. And this is where it gets really interesting. We do have this routing tab so that you've got your stream audio for what your stream would hear if you're streaming from a PC, the microphone, which I currently have disabled, Bluetooth, you can connect the base station, your game, and your voice, which is typically your PC. And yeah, you can do some interesting leveling and balancing here, but I don't think this is the way to mix and match with the A50X. Logitech G actually dropped a brand new piece of software called Mixline Pro, which is insane, and I just have to show it off right now. Mixline Beta is a new piece of software released by Logitech G for free, by the way. You can actually just use this for free. You just come to the link down there below in the description and click sign up for beta. And it's this kind of crazy drag and drop virtual audio cable software that allows you to mix everything before it ever even hits OBS, or create multiple outputs so you can record multiple OBS audio tracks or different volume in your headsets or other places. So without further ado, let's hop into Mixline Beta. So when you boot up Mixline Beta for the first time, you'll probably just have these three standard outputs on the side. You've got your stream output, recording output, and just what you hear in your headsets. You can, of course, add more. I could add my TV over there if I wanted to, but for now, let's add some inputs. If I'm streaming, I definitely want to use my microphone. I would definitely, let's say I have an additional microphone, like a guest microphone. We can turn that on. And then let's say I want Discord chat in its own channel. And we're going to do two things here. We're going to say that Microsoft Edge is a video game just because I don't have a game booted at the moment. And we're going to say that Google Chrome is where I'm playing music from. I can also do this with Bluetooth. So what we've got is two microphone inputs, a Discord chat input, a game input, and a little bit of musical input here. So let's start from the top. You can click the little plus button. I definitely want the stream and the recording to be able to hear my microphone, but I don't want to hear my microphone in my own headset, so I'm not going to connect that. Now, the guest microphone, let's say for whatever random reason, I want the stream to hear it, but not the recording. Well, we've got that going on. Let's say the Discord chat, we are going to do both as well. That's pretty simple. And we're definitely going to need to add this additional microphone to my headset so I can hear it, and my Discord chat also to my headset so that I can hear it. That would be really nice. Moving along, we've got the game also going to all the outputs, which is totally fine. You can adjust the levels independently on the side or mute them at any given moment to turn them on and off, and they've all got additional options for moving up and down for clarity. Now this last one, let's pretend I'm playing music in Google Chrome, right? Well, let's say that I can't have it in the recording, but I can have it in the stream. And I also would like to obviously be able to hear it in my own headset. So let's do that. And let's say somebody says, hey, you can't play this music, it's copyrighted. I can just click mute and it's no longer on the stream. Now, all of this syncs up with OBS, which I currently have open here in big time crazy mode. But if I were to go down here and go to my properties for my audio devices, you can see that I also have the A50X stream out from the A50 software, but I've got the Mixline record and the Mixline stream along with all of these other audio devices. So if I want to, I can go to like advanced audio properties and I can put, this is so hard to see, I can put all of these in different tracks if I want to, and I can do multi-track recording so that I can adjust the volume independently later. One more quick thing you can do with Mixline Pro is you can separate all of your audio inputs into different tracks. So for example, I've got the Yeti GX going to these outputs if I want them, but I've muted it for now because I'm going to be using that just as the default input here in OBS. You can already see that it's capturing my mic, but I put Discord in its own audio channel and I sent it to the stream and to my voice or my headset so I can hear people talk, and I can kind of adjust them independently here so that it won't mess up the volume. If like people are being too loud, I can just turn that down and the stream will still capture it fine. And on the record, and these are just generic names, by the way, just because they're called stream and record doesn't mean you have to use them for that. I put Microsoft Edge, which is our placeholder for a video game, going to the headset and to the record thing. So then basically what I've got here is OBS has a distinct input for my microphone. It has a distinct input for Discord and a distinct input just for the game volume. And I can adjust all three of those independently now or later in recording and just get it nice and perfect. So I think that's an extremely powerful tool. Hey guys, it's Drifter from the future here. A few days after recording the initial review, I finally had time to sit down with Mixline and set everything up, and it worked exactly the way that I wanted it to using this configuration, which I know looks a little bit like spaghetti. I was able to separate all of my video into 3 different tracks. So I have my audio track, my music track if I want it, and then the gameplay audio, and they can all be independently adjusted here in Premiere in post. So if you're playing with a friend who's quiet or loud, you can put them in their own track and adjust them. If you prefer to record clean gameplay but still stream with your volume, you can do it here and just mute the track. I think this is working excellently. So let's talk about flaws with the A50X. Flaw number 1 is that basically every single thing about the headset goes through the base station, which I have rotating over here. You can't just take the headset and plug it into things. You can't travel with it. You can't even pair Bluetooth to it. You can pair PCs, Nintendo Switches, phones, tons of devices, consoles, lots of stuff through the base station, but these two really are linked together as a product. Nothing that goes through the base station touches the headset, so you can't take it on a plane with you. As such, the battery life for the wireless headsets are only 24 hours, which is much less than these two. I think the A30 here is a 40-hour battery life, and this one is even beefier. I'd charge this like once every 2 or 3 months. However, the design goal for this is it's for like your base station, your PC and your console, like power user area. So realistically, you're not taking it far from the base station, and it charges just setting down. There's little magnetic hooks. So as soon as I set it down, it goes back to charging. I've used A50s for a long time. They're pretty much never gonna run out of battery unless you're doing like a 24-hour plus stream, but that does happen. And the other flaw is, I'm gonna pick this guy up one more time. If you look around for the ports on the headset, there is no aux port, no analog port, no simple analog in or out, which means it's gonna be a little bit harder to use with a mix amp or really professional setup. Unlike some of the other Astro products where you can customize the ear tags and a lot of pieces, this one, to the best of my ability to tell, you can only customize the headband and the interior earmuffs because a lot of controls are built into the side. And perhaps the biggest flaw with this device is its price and its target audience. This is for somebody, I've got this actually off. This is for somebody that owns multiple consoles and a PC, probably somebody that streams and they want to kind of be able to do everything at once. Because right now, if you're streaming from console, the biggest problem in your life is most likely going to be audio. So if you're like a console gamer plus PC gamer power user, this is fantastic. However, if you're just gaming on one console, this is overkill. Or if you're just a PC gamer, also overkill. You're only using half the features. It's really for somebody that has both. And it's overkill or perhaps not the best value because the base price on this is $380, which is a lot of money. To put that in perspective, I think we are at off the top of my head, I think we're at 180 here and maybe 200 here. So this costs almost as much as the other two combined, which is a very hefty price. It's almost like buying a new console. So the reason that you would buy this is you already have multiple consoles and a PC, and maybe you want to listen to Bluetooth on your phone and mix it all together and the stream doesn't hear the music. It'll do that fantastically. If you've just got one PC, if you just game on PlayStation in the living room and that's it, then this is just unnecessary. There are much more cost-effective products like the A30s that'll get you the same audio quality without all the complexity and price. So those, I guess, are flaws or downsides because it's not for everybody. While it is a bit of a Swiss Army knife type device, it's really for console power users. And I think it's fantastic for that, but I think the audience may be a little bit niche. My last comment that's negative is just literally a personal one for me, which is we have the volume and game and voice balance controls on the earmuff of the headset. If you can see, you would just kind of hit the buttons to balance them. But unfortunately, due to an accident that I had, we'll keep it simple, I have to game from a bed, which means I lay on a pillow with this on both sides, which means if I turn my head a little bit, I'm actually clicking these buttons and changing my balance. I think that is a very, very niche complaint that's just for me and probably won't affect very many of you. But I did have that one. Overall, I'm very happy with this product. I definitely recommend it for console gamers. Obviously, this video is sponsored by Logitech. I have a code Drifter and discount links and all that stuff down there below to save you 5 or 10% off or whatever the offer is going to be. But it's kind of a weird one. I'm going to recommend the product, but I may not use it myself. I think this is a fantastic product. And back when I was playing PlayStation and Xbox and I had all the consoles and did all the things, this is what I needed, but I've recently converted to being pretty much PC only. Even if I'm going to play controller, it'll probably be controller on PC. So in that instance, this is overkill, and something like the Pro X2 with a simple one USB hookup, probably a lot easier and more cost effective for me to work with. That being said, it's still a really cool piece of technology. I'm going to keep playing with it. I'm going to keep playing with Mixline, and I might do something really complicated with dual PCs to see if this will pass through PC HDMI and exactly what it'll capture. All right, guys, that's all for this really long review. I hope you learned something interesting about this product. If you're like, again, a console power user and you have a PC and a bunch of consoles, there is nothing better on the planet for you than this right here. You can pair your Bluetooth, PC, and both consoles all at the same time. Or if you're just like a single PC gamer, probably a regular Logitech headset will be better. We almost forgot. Drifter out. And for the first time in a long time, we're not doing animal testing on Boomy. He's very, very old and does not like to be on camera.